So I got a little bit of an embarrassing story to tell you guys. I was actually just recording this video about like starting a half hour ago. And then I realized at the very end of it that I didn't turn my mic on.
You stupid.
So here we go again. Why hello there, beautiful people. Caz the Blackheart back with the 1K Q&A that I promised you guys once we got the 1K subs. And as promised, here it is. First and foremost, before I get into the Q&A, thank you guys so much for all your support over the past few years. I really couldn't have done it without you guys. Now let's get into it. That was kind of foul. So question number one. My man Center Beans, aka Sincara. He asks, what made you want to become a YouTuber / streamer? There's no single reason that I really wanted to become a YouTuber or streamer. There are a lot of different reasons. I guess the main reason is I wanted an audience for me playing video games. I've been playing video games since I was about like 5 years old, and they've always been one of my biggest loves outside of music, outside of football and whatnot. So I guess I became a YouTuber / streamer because I wanted an audience to hear my story, like, you know, to find me through video games, through like the mutual love of video games. And I just want to be a part of a community, I guess, is like the main thing for me. So next up, we got Giants fan, aka Josh, who asks, who's your favorite college team other than Florida State and why? I would say West Virginia, just because my brother went there for a few years and I was a big fan of Pat White and Steve Sladen and Owen Schmidt back in the day. But no other college team really gets the support that I show Florida State. Florida State is my favorite team, and honestly, I don't even really pay attention to West Virginia anymore. So the real answer is nobody. It's Null Nation all day, baby. Next up, we got Real Sports Videos asking, what is one of the many lessons you've learned to help you improve as a YouTuber? I would say I've learned to take criticism better, because you really can't do something like that without being able to take criticism. Otherwise, you're going to end up just being miserable on here, and it's not going to go your way. So learning how to take criticism has definitely been really important to my growth as a YouTuber and as a streamer. So Raider Bear, who's another one of my big supporters, asks, who's your biggest influence regarding streaming and life in general? As far as streaming, I can't really say that I had like too many influences as far as streaming goes. There are a lot of different streamers I watch, so it's kind of hard to like pinpoint like one or even like a few people who are like influences to me. As far as life goes, I would say my father is definitely one person. There are a few other people out there who I look up to as well, but again, I've always just kind of done my own thing. His second question is, are there any regrets from your time so far in your adventures in streaming? Maybe just not being as consistent as I've wanted to be, or could have been, I guess. Getting mixed in with bad crowds as well is like just another regret I have through streaming and through content creation on YouTube. Sometimes I've gotten mixed in with people who are just kind of toxic towards me and weren't very good influences, but yeah, those would be like my two big ones. Next up, The Beast, aka Unleashed Beast, asks, do you want to expand your channel beyond sports games? Absolutely. I'd like to do Let's Plays of other games, but even beyond video games, I definitely want to expand beyond that. Like, I would like to be like something similar to like an iMaverick, so maybe that's the answer to like biggest influences regarding streaming, but that was a question more about streaming than it was like content creation. So, and it's like Mav does stream, but it's like he's more of an influencer on YouTube than he is a streamer, so that's why I didn't really count that towards streaming. But that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to, like, you know, be more than just playing franchise mode in Madden or dynasty mode in NCAA football. Perry H7 asks, why do you like the teams you like? I'm a big Titans fan because around the time that they were changing their name, the movie Hercules came out, and I got really into Greek mythology, and the Titans are actually the fathers of the gods. So when I heard an NFL team was going to name themselves the Titans now, I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. I guess they're my team now. And it's been a wild 20 plus years being a Titans fan, but as far as the Knicks go, I'm from Buffalo, New York, and there aren't any teams in Buffalo, and I didn't want to support the Raptors, so I picked the only team in the state, and that was the Knicks. And the Sabres, because I'm from Buffalo, I don't really care about hockey like that. The Mariners, I became a fan because of Ken Griffey Jr., and then I stayed a fan because of Ichiro. I guess Manchester City I became a fan of because I wanted to rebel against Manchester United fans. And I was a Man City fan before they got good and like started cheating and whatnot, by the way. So I don't want to hear no smoke from none of y'all. As far as Florida State, it's just a war chant pretty much. The war chant made me a fan. So Beast asked another question. If you won the lottery, what would you do? Y'all would never hear from me again, probably. I think I would just go off the grid. Like, I'd just donate to all like my friends and whatnot on here. Like, anonymously, like super duper anonymously, and y'all would just never hear from me ever again. So if I ever go ghost for like 6 months, either I'm dead or I just went off the grid because I won the lottery. So I'm just warning you guys ahead of time, I guess. I don't know. So Perry asked another question saying, what's your favorite thing about being a YouTuber? I would say just interacting with other YouTubers, getting to, like, you know, have conversations with like-minded people. For example, FranchiseGaming is a very good friend of mine. Even beyond all this YouTube stuff, he's a very good personal friend of mine. We kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and I learn a lot from him. He learns some things from me. And honestly, that's like the best part of being a YouTuber, just meeting other people who have similar goals to you, I would say. So my man Wee, aka Colin, aka Dwarf Sly, my guy, he asks, where did you originate from, both name and origin? So I guess he's asking me where my name comes from. Well, I used to go by a moniker with like my actual name, which I'm not going to put in this video, but some of you guys know it, some of you guys don't know it. But I changed my moniker after leaving like a really toxic environment and changed my name to Cassius Cray, but I spelled it with a Z instead of 2 S's, just to be a little different. People just couldn't pronounce it correctly, so I shortened it to Caz Cray, and that's kind of where CrayniaqGaming comes from, just being Cray instead of Clay. It's like a play off Muhammad Ali's name, or actual name, RIP to him. But outside of that, that's like pretty much where the name Caz comes from, and where CrayniaqGaming comes from for the most part. So next up, we got Husker Ninja asking, what do you like the most about having your own little YouTube community with guys like FG? Well, just being able to, like, you know, converse with my subscribers, like talk to people who support my channel, talk to people who support FG's channel and whatnot. Just being a part of that type of community where we just talk about sports, we talk about video games, we talk about all types of good stuff. It's one of those things that just makes like being part of a community so great. Just like having somebody to talk to all the time, pretty much. Now, King Bopus, aka Zach Hobart, asks, what's your biggest fear? I have a pretty decent list of fears, but I think my biggest one would probably be heights. I don't know how I'm going to end up flying to like Chicago or to San Diego for like all the cons I'm trying to go to, for all like the people I want to meet in the next few years. I don't know how that's going to happen with me being afraid of heights, because flying in a plane, obviously you're going to be up there. So we're going to have to see what I do, how I act. Am I going to have a panic attack or what? I don't know. We'll have to see. So now Raider Bear comes back asking, do you think the Titans will win the Super Bowl in your lifetime? Hell, I think they'll win it next year personally, but that's just me. But in all seriousness, I would say in the next 5 years, the Titans will probably win the Super Bowl. As long as they keep Derrick Henry and they bring back Ryan Tannehill and he does a good job, I think they'll be back in the next few years. The defense is really good. They got a solid offensive line. And Mike Vrabel, I mean, I had my doubts about him earlier this year, but he turned out to be a really good coach this year. We'll just have to keep that mofo rolling into 2020. So next up, Adam Does Discord asks, meet any celebrity ever, who would it be? I would say probably Nas or Will Smith, one of those two. Nas is like my favorite rapper of all time. Will Smith's like my favorite actor, so either one of those two would suffice for me. What's your favorite game series? I would say Metal Gear Solid or Fallout. Those are my two favorite series. And I would actually like to do Let's Plays for either one of those, or both of them preferably. If that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know in the comment section. And maybe we'll put that on the Caz Plays channel. I don't know. We'll see. Next we got Walter White, who's been a long-time supporter of this channel. He asks, what has been your favorite series to play and or edit? I would say Baltimore State. I think NCAA Football 14 is just my favorite game out of the ones that I play for the channel. I do like Madden 20. College Hoops 2K8 is pretty fun too, but NCAA 14 just kind of blows both of them out of the water. I'm a little burned out on it right now, but once I get going with it again, I'm sure I'm going to have just as much fun as I did before playing it. Now, my man FranchiseGaming, aka Father Chives, asked me, dream collab? I would say Mr. Hurricane, Not the Expert, or Param Crow. Like, collabing with any of those three would definitely be a whole lot of fun. I mean, I'm already friends with Param for the most part. I'm just not trying to be a clout chaser like some people. But I think my dream collab would probably be with iMaverick. I mean, Dion's like one of my biggest influences as far as YouTube goes for the most part. His videos are great. And he's basically turned his YouTube channel into his business. And it's basically expanded beyond YouTube. He has his own damn website. That's kind of what I want to do with Crayniaq Gaming, honestly. So RMP asked me 3 questions. We're going to start with the first one. What keeps you motivated and why did you start YouTube? Well, I already answered why I started YouTube, but what keeps me motivated is I just don't want to have to work for nobody no more. Like, I don't want to have to work for the man to be able to, like, barely sustain myself. I just want to be able to work for myself, and I feel like through YouTube, I can at least get into the door of doing that. Now, YouTube will never be my only form of income. I mean, in order to be a millionaire, you have to have multiple streams of income. But yeah, like, just never having to work for anybody else ever again basically motivates me to just work harder on YouTube. If the Titans didn't exist, what NFL team would you be a fan of? Probably the Bills. The Bills are my second favorite team, so I guess they would be my number one at that point. And the third question he has is, what's your favorite thing about being a YouTuber? Well, I already answered that, but next up, PerryH7 is back with another question. What do you use to stream and what are your settings? I stream on Streamlabs OBS and I kind of just optimize the settings. I mean, that's as far as I'll really go. I don't want to get too in-depth on that in this Q&A. But moving right along, we got Octagonal Gaming asking, if you could only bring 3 things on an island, what would they be? That's a tough one, Octi. I'm going to have to come back to that, bro. I don't know. Ask me like an hour, I guess. I don't know. Like, that's just way too much thinking that I don't want to do right now. Alright, now the YouTube questions. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go for, Octi. Who's your favorite player you've ever played with in any series? I would say Josh Seymour from the Baltimore State Dynasty. I mean, he was unstoppable, man. He was kind of like a modern-day Barry Sanders. He would just, like, turn nothing into a whole lot of something every time he touched the football. And he really was the main reason Baltimore State won those 2 national championships. Well, the first 2. He wasn't there for the third one, but yeah, like the first 2. So I got a few questions about my music. First, we had Raider Bear asking, what's happening with your music? Then we had Contacts asking, you gonna start doing music again? When can I expect the project? Here's the thing with me making music again. It's just not in my heart right now. It might come back one day, but as of right now, I just don't have any interest in making music. And again, maybe the interest will come back one day. Maybe I'll drop a song tomorrow, I don't know. But as of right now, in this moment, it's not in my heart to make music. I just don't really have any desire to write any lyrics or like buy any beats or anything like that. It's just, I mean, I'm more focused on like YouTube and Twitch and whatnot. So maybe one day, but I'm not going to guarantee you guys that it'll ever happen again. It might not ever happen again, and I'm totally fine with never making another song. But who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind in like the next few months. We'll have to see. Perry asks, favorite movie of all time? Probably Friday Night Lights or Remember the Titans. One of those 2. I just love football movies for the most part. Raider Bear says, if you weren't a content creator, what would you be doing? Well, I don't really make any money making content, so it's like, it's not like it's my career as of yet. I mean, I would like it to be my career, but I would say being a football coach is also what I want to do, and I can actually achieve both. So, well, you might see me coaching one day. I don't know. If you were forced to move out of the U.S., what country would you move to and why? Probably England, honestly. I mean, I have a good amount of friends who live in the UK. Shout out to my boy Live Lean or Dream, aka Dash and Kevin Walsh. Yeah, I think the UK would probably be where I fit in the best, to be honest with you. Like, I love their culture over there. I mean, I'll probably move to Manchester, watch the Man City games or something like that. I don't know. Perry comes back with favorite song. I like way too many songs to pick a favorite. Where do you think some of the big NFL free agents will go? That's kind of something for like a whole video in and of itself. I'm not going to do it in this video. And Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle? I would say Squirtle. Squirtle is usually what I start with in like the original Pokemon games. I mean, sometimes I want like a challenge, I'll pick Charmander, but Squirtle was like my first starter like when I played Pokemon Red. So Squirtle is like number 1 for me. Charmander's number 2, Bulbasaur's number 3. Raider Bear asks, Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z? Both, you can't make me pick. Contact's second question was, how many licks does it take to get to this Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? I don't know. Perry H7 asks, what players for any sport were your favorite growing up? I would say Steve McNair, Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter, Dominic Hasek, Patrick Ewing, Ken Griffey Jr. The list goes on and on and on. Why did you name your channel CrayniaqGaming? Gaming? It's just a play off my name, Caz Plays, pretty much, and it's more for branding purposes more than anything else. Raider Bear, your thoughts on no college games on consoles or PC since NCAA 14, and do you think there will ever be an NCAA game ever released again? And if so, will it be baseball, football, basketball, soccer, ice hockey, or all the above? Well, when they make NCAA games again, it'll definitely be football, maybe basketball, maybe baseball. But my thoughts on there being no college games since NCAA 14, I mean, I think EA probably could have still dropped like a college football game, like similar to what Maximum Football did, but they kind of just chose not to, I guess, because they couldn't get like the actual licensed teams. But it just kind of is what it is. I'm glad that we actually have the opportunity to possibly get those games back in the future. We'll have to see if it happens. But yeah, football and basketball will definitely happen in my opinion, and maybe baseball. Perry back with another question asking, who is your favorite player in the NFL? Derrick Henry right now. I mean, he's 6'4", almost 250 pounds, and he runs like he's a scat back, and he just runs over everybody. He's a freaking monster, and the Titans would be really stupid not to resign him. He's pretty much like a once-in-a-generation running back, honestly. And like, you can't afford to lose him with how much of an impact he has on games. So now, Lane, aka Headstrong, asks, why are you afraid to 1v1 me in Madden? Well, what's up with Elaine Cini? You got my gamer tag, bro. If you want that work, man, if you trying to get this work, send me an invite, pimp. And we got Raider Bear with a few more questions. Your thoughts on mental health issues with males? That's something I would rather put in like a whole video, honestly. Do you have any interest in sports that are played outside of the U.S.? I'm talking about sports like rugby league, rugby union, cricket, Gaelic football, or netball. Not especially. I mean, rugby a little bit, but for the most part, to be honest, not really. I mean, I'm open-minded to anything for the most part, but I'm not really interested in like any of them outside of rugby. What are your thoughts on women's sports versus men's sports, such as pace, spectators, and events? That's another one where I might have to make a video on it. And then the last question that we have is from my man Husker Ninja. How do you manage to keep a consistent upload schedule and balance YouTube with personal life duties? It's kind of rough, honestly. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. As you guys have seen, like, I haven't been the most consistent with my uploads as of lately. I've just had a lot of stuff beyond my control happen early on this year. So it's kind of been rough to get back on the horse, but you just gotta focus, have a plan, and just execute straight up. That's all you can do. That's it for the Q&A questions. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for getting me to 1K subs. And we just got to make that push to 2K now. And we'll get another Q&A going for you guys when that happens. But thank you guys so much. You guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day now to whenever you're watching this. Like I always say, guys, no matter what happens, make sure you keep that mofo rolling. I love y'all 3,000. I'm out to 5,000. Deuces.